You know, on food YouTube, I come across a lot of videos that goes, "This is the easiest recipe you'll ever make." I always wondered if that's true or not. So today we're testing all of the most popular ones to see if they're really easy or am I just easy to trick.
It's cheesy garlic parm, chicken and potato skillet. This one checks all the boxes. It's easy, Picky Kid approved, and it can be on the table in about 30 minutes.
The original video by Luke had over 25 million views. And when I look at the finished product, it ain't all that. So let's follow it as closely as possible to see if it's really worth the hype. 400 for 20 minutes. The chicken is looking surprisingly high quality. I'm suspicious. Similar size as the potatoes. Guys, do you like this top-down angle? I feel like we're getting professional now. Look how professional we are. The never-ending Wagyu tallow. High smoke point my ass. We're just getting some color on the chicken now. After we flip another minute or so, I forgot to chop garlic. So once the meat is hard, we can add in the moist, hey yo. I don't have the Parmesan garlic sauce they used in the video, so we can make our own. Throw in some heavy cream. Parmesan. It's starting to get kind of complicated. Once the sauce is starting to thicken, we can put in all the potatoes. The important thing is, don't be a fat ass and eat all the potatoes before putting it in. They're really good, but you gotta focus on the bigger picture. Turn the heat down, and finally, thin layer of shredded mozzarella. We'll broil it till the cheese melts. You know, keeping an eye on it. It smells so good, that combination of spices. All right, ready for this cheese ball? Center scoop. Hell yeah. That is a long cheese ball. All right, let's give it a taste and we 1 to 10. Totally get the hype. It's almost like a really balanced pizza. It has the best flavors of all different kinds of dishes. You get a little bit of home fries, chicken tender, pizza, and all that seasoning combined together, and the creamy of the cheese. I'm gonna have to give this recipe a 9.1. I can totally eat this whole pan right now. And do you guys appreciate how I use the paella pan? I feel like if I don't use it here, I'll never use it again.
This is my lazy pasta, because making it takes just as long as cooking your pasta. 10 out of 10.
A lot of promises being made, and we're gonna put that timing to the test. Little portion of spaghetti. I'm using this toothpaste sun-dried tomato. And I also have tomato paste in a toothpaste container. Ever since last time I complained about the tomato paste can, you guys recommended me to go with the toothpaste. This has changed my life. Now I never have to worry about having mold. The mold-free Future Canoe 2026 is happening. Tomato paste, regular tomato paste, garlic, big spoonful of Frino's tahini. This is pretty much vegan's heavy cream. Some pasta water. The pasta is done. Why is it so little? It starts bubbling, reduces a little bit. This vegan lazy pasta is done. Never thought I'd be eating tahini noodles. I actually can't tell that's tahini. It tastes straight up like a reduced carbone heavy cream sauce. Actually, no. Saying carbone would be insulting this recipe. It tastes really legit.
That was legitness.
Considering we spent a total of 6 minutes on this recipe, even though I don't really like spaghetti, I'll give it an 8.5. After our lazy pasta recipe, we have an air fryer pasta. And spoiler alert, it's not getting old anytime soon. The entire dish would take place in this container. And let me just point out, every single video of this guy makes it look like the easiest dish of all time, had me questioning whether if it's possible to replicate. Starting with the aromatics, 2 bell peppers, 1 onion, handful of zucchini. Why? Salt, pepper, oregano, oil up, put on our screen, an entire box of cherry tomatoes. Spray some oil on top, put it straight into the air fryer. Thankfully, I have the exact same air fryer model as him, the Ninja Crisp. Actually, I have a better version of the air fryer than him. 390 degrees for about 20 minutes. Blistered cherry tomatoes is the majority of the flavor. Now in goes cream cheese, stock, and basil. Barely cover the vegetable. Time to immersion blend this thing up. It's always so fun to play with immersion blenders. 300 for about 10 minutes. Parmesan, some parsley. Freaking parsley. So nice that this is like a glass container. This feels like a Ninja air fryer ad. Well, I was sponsored by them a couple months ago, but they no longer answer my emails. This is a genuine review of the product. It does taste good, but I think everything feels a little watery. We don't have a pan trying to reduce and concentrate the flavor, and everything's happening on top. There's no Maillard reaction or anything. Out of convenience, I'll still give it a 6 out of 10. Another pasta recipe from this guy. Looks even simpler. It's titled 20-minute pasta recipe. Well, let's start the timer. So it's 5:19 right now. Close the lid, turn the heat on high, and wait for 20 minutes. 5:39, exactly, 20 minutes. Time to... Did somebody just throw up on it? I almost don't really want to eat it. What does the original recipe look like? Now, what went wrong here? You know what, maybe it tastes different. Maybe it tastes good. Okay, it's definitely edible. I can taste the sun-dried tomato paste, and I can taste the sun-dried tomato paste. Yeah, the sun-dried tomato paste is really great. 3-ingredient recipe from Patrick. I always wonder, how does Patrick keep coming up with these extremely easy but delicious recipes?
Chocolate cake, and it's so easy to make. It only takes 4 ingredients. It only takes 4 ingredients. It's only 2 ingredients. Oreo ice cream. This is probably the easiest recipe you'll ever try. 3-ingredient mac and cheese. It is the easiest recipe you'll ever try.
And I also wonder if they're actually good. So cold milk, pasta in, bring it to a boil. We're gonna cook the pasta entirely in this milk. He said for 15 minutes or so. Sometimes I wonder if you just soak pasta overnight in cold water, it'll still get cooked. It's almost like we're cooking a risotto. So we're supposed to use shredded cheddar. Don't have that, but I have these from my last cheese and crackers party pregame thing. I've always wondered, you see like the jalapenos in pepper jack? Does it make it spoil faster than other cheeses? The heat on lowest, melt the cheese in. Great cheese pull looking like. Let's give it a taste. What's that crackling sound you hear? Cooking a piece of salmon over here. Multitasking king. It tastes like what a Kraft is supposed to be. Can't believe it's one of the better mac and cheese I've had. Missing the crispy top though. I'll give it an 8 out of 10. But all these recipes claiming either extremely simple or very fast to prepare. Remember in the last video, I have this hour-and-a-half gap between classes. Let's see if I can finish an entire recipe within this gap. Okay, 12:40, I have an hour and 20 minutes. Thank God for instant rice. For the filling, we're gonna do the salmon we cooked from yesterday and shredded imitation thin strips. Oh, what the fuck? What the fuck? I was trained in high school eating string cheese every day. I guess we can just Kewpie mayo. Some furikake. Finally top it with the fish crack mixture. Give it a little cheese. Broil this for 15 minutes. Soy sauce on cheese. Something doesn't feel right. It's 1 o'clock right now. We have a whole hour to eat this. Damn, it actually tastes really good. It tastes like if you left a poke bowl in the sun for 5 hours, everything steamed together, and you top it out with cheese. Minus the food poisoning. And the nori sheet, surprisingly, didn't get that soggy. We didn't bake it for that long anyways. I have like an hour to finish this, and then the last 15 minutes, I can get back to school for my next class. Smelling like I just filleted a whole salmon. 8.5 out of 10.
If you're looking for an easy recipe, try making my soy glazed chicken rice bowl.
And the secret ingredient, Coca-Cola.
Starting with marinating the chicken, first ingredient with Tiffy is always soy sauce, and I love the way she says it. Soy sauce.
Soy sauce.
Soy sauce.
Soy sauce. Sauce.
And then oyster sauce, I don't have any. I'm gonna replace it with some dark soy sauce. And I just realized I don't have sugar either. But what's better than sugar, you asked? High fructose corn syrup. Basically the MSG of the sweet round. Hell yeah. Can't even tell there's no oyster sauce in it. Back at it again with the tallow. Also, a lot of garlic. Should we do a toss? Let's do a toss. Okay, let's not do a toss. Time for our secret ingredient of the day, Coca-Cola. I picked the glass bottle. You know, every time I talk about Coca-Cola, my friends always like to tell me Mexican Coke is better because it uses real sugar and normal Coke in America use corn syrup. I think they're really lying. They taste the same. Don't you use sugar to make syrup? Chicken thighs soaked in Coca-Cola. It sounds disgusting, but it looks and smells amazing. And let's top it with sesame seeds, just in case you don't believe it's an Asian dish. No rice, raw dog in the chicken. Feels like it's from a restaurant. The reduced syrup kind of gives that glistening look, and I can almost smell the tallow too. It tastes like one of those Taiwanese 3-cup chicken with a hint of dry aged beef. So rich, flavorful, that subtle sweetness, and it's truly a one-pot dinner. I wish I had some rice right now. I'm gonna give this a 9 out of 10. Tiffy cooks never disappoint. So this next one is sort of like a easy Korean frozen dumpling hack. First make a sauce involving milk, a little bit of heavy cream, tablespoon of gochujang. If you put gochujang into anything, they call it Korean food. To make it more Korean, you gotta go in with that syrup and soy sauce. On low heat, we'll just mix this smooth. Once it comes up to a boil, time to drop in our frozen dumplings. Pork and chives. Just cover it and let it cook for 2 to 3 minutes. It's so good. Oh my god, it got a little crispy. Great curry momo. I love how the top is like glistening and stuff. Incredibly rich flavors with a dense, creamy consistency. My only complaint is that I don't think it's cooked through. I'll still finish this, but I'm gonna cover it up so that the heat reaches the center. But yeah, great dish. I'm gonna give it an 8.5.
A thick piece of toast. Add whole milk. Let toast absorb it. Evenly spread melt butter. Slowly move it around. Fry both sides on low heat until brown. Transfer to a plate. Condense the milk or yogurt. Done and dusted. Out of this world.
I got some challah. Just drop it directly into the pan. And all we need to do here is on medium heat, we'll soak it in a lot of heavy cream. It's okay if it falls to the bottom of the pan, because it will suck it right up. Just let it sit and wait. Pretty low maintenance dish. And once in a while, we'll just turn it to let all sides absorb that. After the absorption, the lactose inside is gonna start caramelizing, help us lead to a better crust. It's almost like making a French toast inside of the pan. Now you see the oil and the whey solids are to separate, so it's almost like we're searing it in butter. Kind of like the Rock's cheat meal toast. Final garnish, condensed milk or honey. We're using one step above. Leche de leche. Is that what he called it? Nestle la leche. Whatever. Hell yeah. Okay, the center's not really soaked through, but still looks great. This challah bread actually is really high quality. It smells great. Damn. You know what I just realized? This is a 3-ingredient recipe. Heavy cream, bread, and condensed milk. The flavor profile almost tastes like the Golden Diner pancake in a French toast form. This just proves you that when it involves sugar, it doesn't take much skill. 9 out of 10.
If you're looking for an easy and delicious snack, these crispy potato balls are super crunchy, packed with flavor, and the perfect healthy snack.
Here I have some potatoes ready to go. I have never tried this cooking method. Cover with plastic and into the microwave for 9 minutes exactly. Looking a little zombified. We'll do some garlic, paprika, salt and pepper, and just mash it all up. And do about 3 tablespoons of cornstarch. We're turning it into a dough. I'm gonna roll these potato mash into these tiny balls, give it a little spray, put it in the air fryer at 400 for 12 minutes. Feels kind of hollow. Let's pick one of the smaller ones. The outside formed a really crispy layer. The inside is just pure mashed potatoes. Can never go wrong with salt, pepper, paprika, garlic. Looking at the ingredients and the cooking method is actually pretty healthy, but it tastes very unhealthy. The microwave thing was pretty weird. Definitely worth trying. I just realized making bread is actually hella easy. All we need here is 500 grams of bread flour, 450 grams of water, 10 grams of salt, 5 grams of active yeast, and 25 grams of olive oil. And the procedure is pretty much mixing up. First, we'll pour in our water gradually, mix it with a wooden spoon. Forgot to add the yeast, but just like a condom, it's not too late to open it up. The reason why we don't need to bloom the yeast is because that method is for testing if the yeast is dead or alive. And we know for a fact the active yeast is alive since I just bought it. so we can just mix straight up into the dough. Sprinkle in our salt and olive oil. When the oil gets in, it becomes significantly easier. Once it looks like a really wet glob, we'll put on a lid and let it rest for 15 minutes. After 15 minutes, we're gonna do 4 coil folds, 25 minutes apart. We don't even need to knead this dough, we'll just let the gluten develop itself. So all we need to do is wet our hands and come in from the side to lift it up. See, it's already starting to catch more dough. Put the lid back on. We'll check back on it 25 minutes later. Okay, another 25 minutes have gone by. Let's see how our friend's doing. Puffed up a lot. It's looking great. Let's see how high this goes. Ooh, it's very good. Look how clean the bowl got. Fermentation doing its job. All right, just make it neat and leave it there covered for another 25 minutes. Second to last fold, a lot more bubbles have developed. That is clean. Look at the bowl. Nothing sticking. Our focaccia has developed a lot of good character, elastic, full of bubbles. One last fold. It grew so much, I feel like the bowl is having a hard time containing it. Now we gotta get our hand really, really wet, just like when I used to touch my mother's focaccia dough. Swoop. Look at that. Look how clean that is. This is ideal consistency. Our next stage is called cold fermentation, where we leave it in the fridge for at least 12 hours to give it that like jiggly effect. It's gonna continue to relax and develop the gluten and make our bread even more airy. Yeah, I'll figure out a space for it when I turn off the camera. I accidentally fermented it for 48 hours. Is there such thing as over fermentation, or does that just add to the flavor? So we're not supposed to deflate it. Kind of just want to let it sit on the pan we're gonna bake it in. Slowly release. Perfect. Now we're gonna drizzle olive oil all over. So without deflating all the bubbles that we accumulated over the past 2 days, we'll just kind of stretch it to fit the pan. Not too much. We're feeling a lot of resistance right now because the dough is still cold. But once it comes up to room temperature, it's gonna get even more jiggly than right now. Oiled up foil, let it come up to temperature for 4 to 5 hours. 4 hours, completely risen all these tiny bubbles. Go slowly so we don't tear it up. Balling like I'm in the NBA. Ooh, oil it up. Going with my bare hands because I really want to feel how jiggly this shit is. It's receiving my finger really well. Love all the bubbles popping up. Sprinkle of salt. Okay, the oven's been heating at 350 for like an hour. We really want the heat to accumulate in there before putting it in. I'm gonna bake it for exactly 23 minutes. Not bad. How's the undercarriage? Ooh, a little soft. We'll just stuff the imperfection deep down and only focus on what's on the surface. That's the motto of the future canoe life. That fermentation, all the bubbles. It's looking amazing. I feel like we should make a viral Italian sandwich with this bread. Besides the undercarriage, I think this is the best piece of bread we've baked so far in this apartment. Damn. Nothing like fresh baked bread. So warm and soft on the inside, that crispy top. You don't even need to dip in olive oil. It's already soaked. I prefer the centerpiece as always, because the corner, it is more crispy, but it's a little dry. Definitely the most complicated recipe today, but in terms of bread recipes, this might be the easiest bread. We can eat it like this, make a sandwich, or I see people like make pizza with this. Delicious and versatile. I'm gonna give this a 9 out of 10. I'll link the recipe down. These recipes have gone one step above foolproof to future canoe proof. If there's a recipe you really want me to try, go follow my Instagram and send it over. We're having a lot of fun over there. Alright, thank you.